The background is, in the Mahabharata, there were Kauravas and Pandavas, and they were cousins. And there was a battle between them. The misunderstanding was there, and then Pandavas were sent to exile, and finally Pandavas wanted their rights, and Kaurava realized that they could not give anything to Pandava because Kauravas felt that they were right, and Pandavas felt that they were right. So ultimately, the whole thing became a war of righteousness. Dharma Yuddha. Dharma Yuddha basically meant that both the parties consider themselves to be correct. And now since there is nothing, no discussion can be done, so it can be settled only by a war. When the war was about to take place, Arjuna was the chief commander of the Pandava side. There were great warriors on both sides, and they were really great. And from the Pandava side, Arjuna was the greatest warrior. And Sri Krishna, the Lord, he had vowed not to take part in the war because he was related to Kauravas, he was also related to Pandava, and for whatever reason he had said no, he was not going to fight. So Arjuna requested that if the Lord could become his charioteer. When we go through the Mahabharata, original Mahabharata, we find the role of the charioteer was as important as that of a warrior. And whenever any crucial fight took place, the charioteer had to be very important, and there used to be Chakra Rakshak, protector of the wheels, the two wheels that there are, and there used to be one Parshva Rakshak, the protector from the back. Like these warriors used to have their bodyguards. But during very crucial battles, there used to be very powerful commanders who used to act as bodyguards, and they were known as Chakra Rakshak, the protector of the wheels on the both sides, and protector of the back and the back side. So for example, there is Arjuna, and the favorite Chakra Rakshak of Arjuna was Uttamoja, who himself was a great warrior. During that Abhimanyu's epic battle, Bhim was Chakra Rakshak of Abhimanyu. So sometimes a greater warrior used to be the protector of the wheel, because the main warrior had to be protected at any cost. So there should not be any attack from the side or from the back. So important warriors used to take place. And the charioteer was a very, very, very important person. And Arjuna was such a great warrior and such a supple warrior. His movements were so fast, so supple, that he needed someone who was equally fast. And only Krishna was good enough for that. Arjuna stood there. He just wanted to have one look before the final battle took place. So Sri Krishna took the chariot, and Arjuna started looking at the both sides. And suddenly he felt guilt. He was filled with remorse that persons whom he had respected all his life, persons whom he had lived, whom he had loved, and for whom he had lived, we live and love. We love, so we live. This living and loving, these two are so conjoined. We love, we live simply because we love people. It is this love that really makes us live. And then we want to live more and more simply because we want to love someone. People who have lost all sense of love in life, they feel despondent, they want to die. They feel that there is nothing left in life, so they are most willing to die. Suddenly Arjuna realized, what am I doing? Persons for whom one considers life worth living, those very persons are about to be killed in this war. So the depression, the sadness that was to take over him after the war, after all these deaths, took over him before the war, and he started quaking with sadness. What is happening? Now, this happens sometimes, you will find that when you go for some huge party, some great parties taking place, some marriage, some social party, suddenly you feel lost. You feel, why am I here? This question comes in our mind. Suddenly that sense of vacuum comes. When you are surrounded with so many people, sometimes suddenly that vacuum comes. It's a very strange phenomena, why it happens. So Arjuna was filled with that guilt, sadness, and he refused to fight. Sri Krishna could not understand what's happening suddenly. So Sri Krishna tells, what are you doing? What's happening? So Arjuna went on narrating things in a more detailed manner, and he even brought in religion, that when there is so much of death, there will be so many widows, and the young girls will not get husbands, and there will be intercaste marriages, and because of this there will be Varna Sankar, that means children born of mixed marriages, and the offerings that are made to ancestors, that will suffer, and religion will be in trouble. So Shri Krishna could not take it anymore. He said, you are talking about religion and you said nothing of religion. And then Shri Krishna gave a long discourse. In that long discourse, Sri Krishna just placed the philosophy of life before Arjuna. There is a huge misunderstanding amongst people who do not know much about Gita. Sri Krishna never coaxed Arjuna to fight. He just placed things in perspective and he placed the philosophy of life before Arjuna. And this discourse continued for 17-18 chapters. And finally Sri Krishna said, well, I have said whatever I have to say. Now you decide what you want to do.